Exposed, the incredible moment 25-year-old CEO revealed heartwarming love for a struggling girl. Elena Carter, the shining star of Maplewood, was more than your average CEO. She was the embodiment of the American dream. At just 25, she had scaled heights that many could only dream of, all while carrying the weight of her past. The daughter of a single mother who burned the midnight oil in 2 jobs, every success reminded her of the sacrifices made. As she strolled through the local farmers' market one sunny Saturday, the laughter of children intertwined with the sweet scent of freshly baked pies. It was this beautiful tapestry of community life that fueled her love for her town, a place that nurtured her ambition. But on this heartbreaking day, fate led her to a little diner for coffee before a critical board meeting. That's when she noticed Sam, a bright-eyed college student serving tables, a pressure cooker of student loans and societal expectations simmering inside her. Sam's gentle smile masked a storm brewing beneath. As they began to talk, Elena instinctively dug deeper, her heart racing in recognition of familiar struggles. Sam spoke softly of her father's unyielding demands and dreams deferred, a local veteran who wanted her on the path of stability, far removed from her artistic aspirations. It mirrored Elena's own sleepless nights, driven by ambition and a gnawing desire to prove worth. As their conversation unfolded, Elena felt a deepening connection, a budding resolve to help Sam rise above her burdens. Yet, doubts flooded her mind. Wasn't she just a corporate shark in the eyes of her old town? She feared that stepping into Sam's life might earn her judgment rather than gratitude. As she mulled over her thoughts, nightfall cast a shadow, and an unexpected encounter loomed at a town hall meeting. The air was thick with tension as Sam's father confronted Elena, eyes blazing with disapproval for her audacity to reach out and disrupt their narrative of success, a tale of tradition versus ambition. In that charged atmosphere, whispers swirled like autumn leaves around the room. Who did she think she was? The young CEO poised to reshape an old-fashioned world. Elena couldn't ignore the frictions intensifying in her heart, emotions churning like a fierce storm. It became clear nothing was going to be simple. Just as a partnership began to take root, turmoil brewed, the diner buzzed with life, fluorescent lights humming softly as Elena made her move. She revealed the truth behind her polished facade, a story of relentless nights grinding away, filled with doubt and hurdles. Sam's eyes widened, soaking in the vulnerability, a mirror reflecting the insecurities pulsing between them. Would she be able to shatter the doubt that tethered them? Or would fear continue to chain them both? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Their lives danced on the precipice of uncharted territory, as raw dialogue filled the room. Would Sam find the strength to embrace the helping hand Elena offered, or let failure extinguish the flicker of hope? The clock ticked ominously in the background, while emotion swelled and broke, fragility laid bare. Both women stood at the crossroads of fear and faith, trapped between dreams and expectations, eyes wide open to a reality heavy with possibility. Would they rise together or let this moment slip through their fingers? The dim light of the diner felt almost comforting in contrast to the storm brewing outside. Elena looked deep into Sam's eyes, each moment stretching into eternity as she searched for an anchor. And then she saw it, an ember of determination flicker behind all the clouds of uncertainty. I know what it's like to feel trapped. Elena's voice broke slightly as she spoke. To carry the weight of others' expectations, while your own dreams feel so far away. Her words felt like a tether, pulling them closer together. Sam's brow furrowed with thought. But how can I step away from what my father wants? He's given up so much for me, I can't just turn my back on that. There was a quiver in her voice, a silent plea. The diner felt smaller, the chatter and the clinking of coffee cups fading into the background. This was a moment only meant for them. Maybe you don't have to turn your back on him, Elena said softly, leaning in. What if you could show him that your dreams are worth pursuing? That your passion matters, too? Sam was silent, her heart racing as she processed the words. What if? For years, she had felt like a puppet in her father's grand plan, unsure how to untangle herself. Yet, something about Elena's confidence sparked a light within her, a desire to dare, to hope. I don't know. Sam whispered, her eyes reflecting both fear and a hint of longing. Elena reached across the table, her hand warm, steady. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take the first step. I'll be right here, supporting you. You're not alone in this. The diner felt alive again, the world outside continuing in its frenetic pace while the two women melded their fears and dreams across the small table, forging an understanding that transcended their backgrounds. Just as their connection deepened, the doorbell jingled, and in strolled Mary, an older woman with silver hair pulled back, clearly looking for trouble. The very mention of Elena's name had marked her reputation in town, a sharp tongue and fierce loyalty to tradition. Look at you, Elena, Mary announced, a smirk creeping onto her face. Playing the savior for the struggling youth. Don't you think it's a bit beneath you? Elena's heart sank. She felt the weight of judgment press down on her, but something within ignited a flame of defiance. I'm not here to play a role. I'm here to uplift this town, to empower everyone, starting with Sam. Mary crossed her arms, clearly unsettled. The air thickened with tension, and for a moment, uncertainty clouded the hope that had just begun to blossom between Elena and Sam. Would they be able to endure the scrutiny that felt like a storm on the horizon? Do you even know what it's like to come from nothing? Mary challenged, glaring at Elena. Elena's breath hitched, and with unexpected clarity, she understood the stakes. This wasn't just about her or Sam. This was about every kid in Maplewood who ever felt trapped by their circumstances. As the words caught in her throat, she swallowed hard. I do know. And if you give me a chance, I can show you how we can all rise together. Sam's eyes shone with hope, drawing strength from Elena's words. But would the town embrace this idea, or would old beliefs stifle their dreams? The silence hung in the air, each second stretching, heavy with potential. Would they seize this moment and transform their lives, or would they let fear and judgment reign? Just then, a text chimed on Elena's phone, a reminder of the meeting that could change everything. Is this where their journey would begin, or would they falter amidst the expectations of others? The moment felt electric, a spark of possibility igniting in the air. Elena's gaze shifted back to Sam, whose eyes were wide, caught between hope and uncertainty. The phone buzzed softly again, almost impatient. It reminded Elena of the meeting with the town council, a chance to present her vision for Maplewood. It felt like a crescendo building within her, urging her forward. Sam, Elena broke the silence, her voice steady. We could be the start of something good. Imagine if we could inspire just one person to see beyond their fears, or even 10. Think of the change we could create. Sam's brow furrowed as she considered the weight of such aspirations. But what if it doesn't work? What if people judge us, or worse, what if my dad is right? Elena took a deep breath, her heart racing. She knew the stakes were high. I get it, fear can be paralyzing. But are you really ready to sacrifice your happiness because of what-ifs? We can't control other people's opinions, but we can control how we respond to them. Mary stood nearby, her presence a prickling sensation in the back of their minds. But Elena didn't allow her gaze to waver. She believed too fiercely in the potential of this moment. What does your heart tell you? Elena asked gently, her hand still gripping Sam's across the table. If you could live your dream, what would it look like? The cafe's neon lights flickered slightly, illuminating Sam's face. She hesitated, her thoughts swirling. I want to make art. I've always wanted to create something that speaks to people, something that brings them joy. Elena's eyes lit up. Then let us work on it together. Let us plan that meeting. Find a way to showcase what you can do. We'll invite everyone, the entire town, to see what we're capable of. As Sam contemplated the idea, a doubt slipped through. But what if my dad hates it? What if he is disappointed in me? He might be, Elena admitted, a soft intensity in her voice. But this is your life, Sam. It's not about living to make him proud, it's about finding your truth. In that moment, something shifted in Sam. She leaned forward just slightly, her heart pounding in the face of possibility. You really think I can do this? Believe in yourself, and you can do anything, Elena replied, her smile wide and radiant like the warmth of the diner. They were both interrupted by the jangling of the door as a couple of teenagers stepped in, laughing and joking as they ordered milkshakes. The comforting sounds of life outside wrapped around them. See? Elena nodded toward the door, filling the space with warmth. You're not alone in this. You have me and, eventually, you'll have more support than you know. Mary's disapproving gaze cut through the moment, but Elena stood tall, feeling the bond growing between them. It was a statement, a promise. This wasn't just a communication break, it was the beginning of a movement. But would they have the courage to push past doubt? As the teens turned to glance over, one of them spoke out. Hey, are you that CEO who is trying to do something big in Maplewood? The question hung in the air, merging their ambitions and fears with curiosity from the outside world. Elena felt her heart skip. This could be the moment, a chance to connect, to inspire, to claim their place in Maplewood. She looked back at Sam, whose eyes were shining with spark and fear. Are you ready? Elena whispered. But Sam hesitated, glancing momentarily at the door, as if weighing the freedom it might represent against the weight of her father's expectations. Just then, the phone buzzed again, this time with another reminder, a final nudge into the unknown. Where would they go from here? Would they seize the chance to change the town's narrative, or would they stand frozen in their fears of judgment? The door creaked open wider, and the vibrant sounds of laughter spilled into their bubble of uncertainty. Sam's gaze darted between the teens, her face a mask of conflict. Elena could read her thoughts, the balance of possibility and fear swirling in Sam's mind like a storm. Think of this as just a first step, Elena urged softly, her grip tightening around Sam's hand. The warmth of her touch was grounding, a steady reminder of their burgeoning partnership. What if today is the day everything changes? Sam took a deep breath, her chest rising and falling like the tide. It feels huge, she finally admitted, vulnerability spilling from her. I want this, but what if it's too much? Elena leaned in closer. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You don't have to figure it all out right now. Just focus on what makes you feel alive. Across the diner, one of the teens turned back, intrigued. You guys okay? You seem deep in thought, he said, a friendly smile crossing his face. Before Sam could respond, Elena stepped forward, a spark igniting. We're working on something important. A presentation that might just change how this town sees art. Like a show. The girl beside him chimed in, leaning in with genuine curiosity. Exactly. Elena said, excitement bubbling under her skin. Art that speaks, art that connects. We want to invite everyone to come see it. For the first time, Sam felt a rush of hope wash over her. She could see the support the teens offered in their genuine interest. Yeah, we're trying to make Maplewood more vibrant, Sam added, her voice gaining strength. I want to show everyone what art can do. That's awesome. The boy exclaimed. You should totally do it. Their words wrapped around Sam like a warm blanket. Maybe this was the encouragement she needed, a nudge toward her dreams. As they talked, the noise of the diner faded, consumed by the conversation, filling her with a newfound sense of purpose. Elena watched, a smile creeping onto her face. Sam was evolving right before her eyes. The timid artist she met not long ago was starting to shed layers, unveiling her potential. But then, a shadow passed over Sam's face, worries clouding her once bright expression. What if my dad finds out? Sam, Elena interrupted, her voice firm but kind. You deserve to follow your passion. This town deserves to see your gifts. Just then, the phone buzzed again, but this time it felt less menacing, more like a gentle reminder of what lay ahead. The message was just a prompt about their meeting later, but to Sam, it felt like the universe supporting her breakthrough. Let us do it, Sam said suddenly, surprising both herself and Elena. Resolutely, she straightened in her seat. Let us set a date for the meeting and get moving. Elena's heart soared, an exhilarating rush of pride mixed with joy. Really? You're ready? I think so, Sam replied, voice steadier now. It's time to show people who I really am. The teens cheered her on from the other side of the diner, their energy palpable. At that moment, it felt like the world shifted, as if Maplewood held its breath. Her father's voice echoed in her mind, warning her against foolish dreams, yet another voice emerged, clearer and bolder her own. Let us do this, she finally said, her eyes locking onto Elena's together. Elena beamed. Yes. We'll make it unforgettable. As they formulated ideas and plans, blending their visions with notes hastily scribbled on napkins, an unfamiliar sensation filled the air, exhilaration. But just over Sam's shoulder, Mary's sharp gaze pierced through the vibrant atmosphere, a looming presence threatening to shatter their moment. How would she respond when she found out? Would she try to thwart Sam's journey? As the chatter crashed around them, anticipation and fear pulsed through the diner. Would they rise above the doubt? Or would they be swept into the tide of judgment? Their future lay ahead, a canvas waiting to be painted, but the risk loomed larger than life. What if the price of pursuing their dream would be heavier than they could bear? With hearts pounding, they realized this was just the beginning of something bigger. Would they grab hold of their destiny, or let it slip away like so many others before them? The chatter hummed around them, a blend of clinking utensils and laughter from nearby booths. Sam felt both exhilarated and terrified. She glanced at Elena, whose eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. They were drafting dreams while the present was crammed with uncertainty. Okay, so what is the first move? Elena asked, tapping her pen against the napkin. We need to think about the venue somewhere that captures the spirit of the town. Maybe the community center? Sam suggested. The place had always felt alive with activity, an apt backdrop for their vision. Perfect. Elena scribbled it down, her face glowing with determination. And we'll need a catchy title for the exhibit. Sam felt a flurry of excitement ignite her brain. What about connections? She said, her voice gaining energy. Art that brings people together. Elena nodded vigorously. I love it. It speaks to what we want to achieve. This isn't just about your art, Sam, it's about the community. As plans sprung to life, a knot tightened in Sam's stomach. The spontaneous excitement was thick in the air, but so was the looming fear of what might come next. Would her father tear down everything she was trying to build? Would he ever see the value of her art? But for now, she pushed those thoughts aside. They were on the edge of something beautiful, and she wouldn't let anything dim that light. What about music for the night? Elena asked, her voice breaking through Sam's spiraling thoughts. Something that sets the mood, something local perhaps. Sam's face lit up with an idea. What if we include live performances? There are some amazing local bands like the Silver Strings. They resonate with the vibe we're going for. Exactly. Elena giggled, a rush of excitement. This is going to be huge. The whole town will want to be a part of it. Just as they were beginning to sketch out a timeline of events, the door swung open. Mary walked in, her eyes scanning the diner. Electricity crackled in the air as Sam's stomach flipped. The color drained from her face, and she squeezed her hands together tightly, as if trying to summon strength. Elena glanced up, her smile faltering for a moment. Hey, maybe we should take a little break. Mary spotted them, her expression hardening into something that felt heavy and ominous. Sam's heart raced. She didn't want to fold under her mother's scrutiny, but the confrontation threatened to shatter the bubble they had just created. "Just act normal," Sam whispered, trying to steady her breath. "Right," Elena said, tension lacing her voice. Mary approached with a measured stride, her eyes narrowed. "What are you two doing here?" The question cut through the jovial atmosphere, replacing it with a tension thicker than the air. "We're just," Sam started, but Mary's cutting gaze silenced her. "You're supposed to be home," Mary said, blunt and foreboding. "What did I tell you about wasting time on those silly dreams?" A wave of frustration washed over Sam. "It's not waste. This means something to me." Elena stepped in gently. "We're planning an art exhibit. It's going to bring the community together and celebrate talent, including Sam's. It's a chance to do something meaningful." Mary's brows knitted together. "Really? Do you seriously think this is a good idea?" As Sam opened her mouth, ready to defend her dreams, doubt surged. Was it a good idea? Would the town really rally behind her? Would her father back her up? In that moment, everything felt on the line. Elena looked at Sam, eyes steady, and whispered, "Don't let her fear dim your light." With those words unpacking in her heart, Sam straightened her shoulders. "This isn't about you, Mom. It's about what I want. And I'm going to fight for this." Mary's expression shifted, contemplation flickering through her tightly controlled demeanor. But would that be enough? Would Sam's courage withstand the wave of uncertainty still to come? As their eyes locked, tension hung like thread between them, unspooling into the unknown. Would this be the moment that defined Sam's journey? Or would she fall back into shadows? The silence echoed loudly, as they stood on the brink of a confrontation that could change everything. Sam's heart pounded as she held her mother's gaze. The din of the diner faded into the background, leaving only her mother's piercing expression, the sharp lines of her face etched with a blend of disappointment and apprehension. For a moment, everything felt impossibly still, as if time itself was waiting for Sam to find her voice. "I don't want to waste my life trying to please you," she finally said, her voice steady but quiet. "I need to do this for me." Mary's eyes softened slightly, but doubt still tinged her features. "Do you honestly think a couple of paintings will change anything? That anyone will even care?" The challenge hung in the air, heavy and daunting. Elena shifted beside Sam, but this wasn't her fight. This was Sam's moment, a chance to stand tall despite the doubt spiraling inside her. "Yes, they will care. This town has talent, real talent. And if they see what we can all do together, maybe they'll start believing in each other too," she said, urgency breaking through her calm. Mary's fingers curled into tight fists at her side, and for a second, Sam felt an overwhelming urge to apologize, to take it back, to reclaim the comfort of submission. But instead, she stood firm. "Mom, you've always made it clear that you want me to have a stable future. But I can't follow a path that's not mine to walk. Art is my passion. It's part of who I am." For a moment, Mary was quiet, her brows furrowing in thought. Sam could see the internal battle within her mother, could hear the echoes of expectations that had loomed over their family for years. Then, without a word, Mary turned on her heel and stormed out, the door slamming shut behind her. The sudden silence that followed felt shocking, an empty space that left Sam feeling both liberated and bereft. Elena breathed out heavily, gripping Sam's arm. "You did it. I mean, you actually stood up to her." Sam's smile was shaky, a mix of triumph and the gnawing realization that her mother's disapproval wasn't just a dismissive gesture. It was a stark reminder of the complexities of love in their relationship. "What if I lose her?" she whispered, the smile fading slightly. "You won't lose her forever," Elena reassured, her voice softening. "She might just need time to see it your way. Besides, you're doing something brave, something real. And you know what? It's time for you to shine." The buzzing din of the diner slowly resumed, but the energy felt different now, charged with a new hope that flickered in Sam's chest. Her heart raced with a blend of anxiety and exhilaration. They had a plan now. It was messy and uncertain, but it was theirs, wrapped in the fabric of community and art. "Okay," Sam said, taking a deep breath. "Let us keep going. We have to book the community center. And we need to think about the space, how to make the art invite everyone." In Elena's enthusiasm re-sparked, pulling out her napkin again to jot down ideas. "We'll set up cozy corners, maybe even have the artists talk about their work. Let people connect over the art, get to know each other." As they pitched ideas back and forth, light laughter starting to fill the space again, a surge of hope flowed through Sam. But in the back of her mind, doubt still shimmered. Would the town really support her? Would her father come around? The questions mingled with the excitement, casting shadows that lingered just outside the bright light they tried to build. Still, amid uncertainty, this was a beginning, a flicker in the dark that she hoped would grow. "Let us make this happen," Sam declared, her voice steadier now, filled with promise. As they wrapped up their plans, something inside her stirred. Despite the hurdles ahead, she felt a sense of conviction growing. She would forge her path, but what lay ahead would require more than her dreams. It would test her in ways she could barely anticipate, but as they exited the diner, Sam sensed the unmistakable tension of change looming in the air. Something was coming, something that would either fan the flames of her art or threaten to extinguish them entirely. As she walked into the cool evening breeze, Elena by her side, a shadow crossed her mind. What would her next move be when the truth behind her father's silence finally emerged? The following days were a blur of activity. Sam felt the weight of her mother's rejection still heavy on her shoulders, yet she couldn't shake the excitement coursing through her veins. The community center loomed ahead, a big building that echoed with the dreams of countless townsfolk, artists and dreamers alike. Sam pictured the walls adorned with vivid colors and forms coming together in a celebration of talent. Every evening after school, she and Elena poured their energy into planning the event. They glued flyers, painted signs, and reached out to local artists they hoped would want to participate. Each new name added to their list was a small victory, a glimmer of hope in a sea of uncertainty. "Do you think people will show up?" Sam asked one afternoon, anxiously crunching a cookie in her hand as they sat at the table in her small kitchen. Elena nodded, her blue eyes bright with confidence. "They will. Your art means something to this town even if they don't realize it yet. And once they see it all together." A soft knock interrupted their conversation. Sam's heart skipped. "I'll get it," she said quickly, wiping her hands on her jeans as she moved towards the door. Opening it, she was met with the unexpected sight of her father, Tom. His face was worn and tired, mirroring the worry lines that seemed to appear overnight. Sam's stomach twisted. "Hey, Dad," she said hesitantly. "Can we talk?" His voice was low, almost a whisper, but there was an urgency she couldn't ignore. "Sure," she replied, looking back at Elena, who raised her eyebrows in encouragement before slipping out of the kitchen. "Come in," Sam added, stepping aside to let him enter. They sat at the table, the space suddenly feeling small, and the air heavy with unspoken words. "I heard about your plans," he began, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. "The art event at the community center." Sam's heart raced. Was this about her pushing back against her mother? What was he really here to say? "Yeah, I hope it'll help bring people together." He sighed, a deep, weary sound that cracked through her resolve. "Sam, I know how you feel about art. Your mom, she just wants the best for you." The words hung in the air, loaded with a mix of caution and protectiveness. "What if what's best for me isn't what's best for her?" Sam replied, feeling the swell of frustration building. "Can't you see I'm trying to create something real here? Something we all need?" There was another long pause before he spoke again. "I get that, I do. But I just worry. The world can be harsh. Especially for someone chasing dreams. Chasing dreams isn't failure, Dad," she shot back, the emotion pouring out. "You taught me that. You always said if I wanted something, I had to go after it. So why can't you support me now?" "I want to, really." But he hesitated, the hesitance revealing layers of conflict bubbling beneath the surface, things Sam had never thought to voice aloud. "Why don't you trust me?" The question slipped through her lips before she could stop it, a raw plea for understanding that hung heavily between them. Tom met her gaze, anguish written across his face. "It's not that I don't trust you, Sam. Just before he could finish, the sound of the kitchen door creaking open interrupted them, and Elena peeked in, oblivious to the tension. "Is everything okay?" Sam glanced at her father, the walls that had been slowly building between them feeling as tall as mountains. "I think we need to talk some more," she said quietly, shifting her focus back to him. "About everything." "Right." He nodded, though the concern didn't leave his face. Let me think about it." As Tom left, Sam felt the weight of uncertainty settle in her chest. She wanted his support, but would she have to battle him, too, in her journey? Elena stepped back to Sam's side, glancing between her and the door, confusion written on her face. "What was that about?" "I'm not sure yet," Sam replied, swallowing against the tightening knot in her throat. With a sigh, she turned back to the table laden with ideas and dreams, but it felt dimmer now. Could her father's words cast a shadow over her ambitions? And what if the world was harsher than she thought? What if she wouldn't just face the struggle of pursuing art, but also had to confront the expectations of her family at every turn? Determined, Sam grasped the edge of the table. "I need to push harder." Just then, her phone buzzed with a notification. As she grabbed it, her heart raced again. It was an unexpected message from a local magazine asking to feature her upcoming event. Hope swirled up inside her. "Elena, we might just be onto something huge," she said, excitement threading through her voice, though she could still hear a warning echoing in her mind. Would this be a breakthrough for her community or spark a confrontation that could unravel her already tenuous connection to her family? As she and Elena dove back into plans, Sam couldn't help but wonder how many obstacles lay ahead and what truths still remained hidden in the darkness. The next morning dawned bright and clear, the sun slicing through the kitchen window, illuminating the clutter of colored flyers and paintbrushes scattered across the table. But even the beautiful day could not lift the weight of doubt pressing heavily on Sam's chest. As she sipped her coffee, she could feel the memories of her father's visit gnawing at her, like a nagging itch that refused to fade. Elena breezed in, her cheerful demeanor a stark contrast to the gnawing apprehension swirling in Sam's mind. "Guess what?" she chirped, tossing her backpack onto the chair. "I spoke with Mark from the art supplies store last night. He's definitely in for a donation. Said he'd love to be part of it." Sam's heart flickered with a spark of enthusiasm. The thought of the event blossoming into something tangible felt exhilarating. "That's amazing," she replied, a smile breaking through her frustration. "If we can get a few more artists involved, it'll be perfect." But even excitement had its limits. Sam gazed out the window, feeling slightly detached from the reality outside. "Elena, what if nobody shows up? What if my art doesn't matter to anyone?" The words slipped out before she could bite them back. Elena paused, taking a moment to sit across from her friend, her expression softened. "You have to give people more credit," she said gently. "Art means something. You're bringing everyone together down at the community center. And I bet your mom will come around. She just needs time to see it." "I hope you're right," Sam said, staring at the colorful splashes of paint on the table. If only things felt as vibrant inside her as they looked outside. The thought of her mother's judgment loomed large, but so did her own resolve. Elena placed a reassuring hand on Sam's. "Let's put everything on this list. You called it a glimmer of hope, remember? Well, we're gonna make that glimmer shine." Fueled by Elena's unwavering faith, Sam started making call lists and outlining timelines. As they worked, she felt her fears slipping a little further away, replaced by the thrill of possibility. Maybe this was going somewhere. Maybe she could really do this. At school, everything felt different. Words of her event began to spread like wildfire. Whispers turned into conversations, and students started approaching her, excited to contribute. A few even expressed interest in showcasing their own work. It was exhilarating, and Sam could feel the swell of anticipation rising. But then her heart sank as she spotted her mother walking through the main hallway. She was deep in conversation with Mrs. James, a teacher. Sam's gut twisted, the dread flared up as she recalled their last encounter. Would her mother dare to disparage her ambitions in front of her peers? Trying to brush it off, Sam ducked her head. It was just a moment. She pushed herself onward, focusing on the sea of friendly faces that greeted her instead. But the quickened pace of her heart spoke of inner turmoil. After school, she and Elena were packing supplies for the community center when her phone buzzed again. This time, it was a group message from her classmates, expressing excitement about collaborating for the event. Sam couldn't help but beam, buoyed by the outpouring of encouragement. But doubt rippled through her consciousness too. Would her mother even support them? "Look at all this!" Elena exclaimed, soaking in Sam's happiness. "This is what it's all about." But she hesitated, biting her lip. "What if we face more resistance than we expect?" "I don't know," Sam said, her excitement tinged with uncertainty. "I just want everyone to love what they see. I don't want my family to be disappointed." As they packed away the last of the supplies, a soft voice broke through the silence. "What's happening here?" It was Tom, standing by the kitchen door. Sam's heart raced. She had seen him at the fence while chasing the puppy earlier. Now, he was here, and the moment felt charged. The curl of fear returned, tightening around her chest. "I was just prepping for the art event." His expression softened as he stepped into the room. "I was hoping to catch you," he said gently. "Can we talk some more? I think maybe I've been wrong about some things." Hope flickered to life again, but it didn't come without hesitation. What was he about to say? Was this her chance to finally break barriers of misunderstandings? "Sure, Dad," she replied cautiously, the weight of her apprehension still vivid. The kitchen, once a stage for lively planning, now felt like an arena for unveiling truths. Would they finally bridge the gap that had grown between them, or would more doubts surface, threatening to drown her newfound joy in uncertainty? As Elena stepped away to give them space, Sam stood at the crossroads of fear and yearning for understanding. Would she finally find common ground with her father, or was this just another twist in an already tangled journey? Tom hesitated, his gaze flickering to the chaotic art supplies before settling on Sam's face. The uncertainty in his eyes mirrored her own. "I've been thinking," he said slowly, choosing his words with care. "I might have let my expectations cloud my judgment. I realize now you're not just dabbling in art. It's a part of you." Sam's heart skipped a beat. Did he really mean what she thought he did? She felt the walls she had built every time they disagreed starting to crack, letting a bit of hope slip through. "It matters to me, Dad. It always has." He took a deep breath, running a hand through his hair. "I know we've had our differences, and I wasn't there for you like I should have been. But when I see your artwork, I see how much you care. I've always been proud of you for that. I just didn't want you to struggle." His confession, simple yet profound, resonated with her deep-rooted fears. "I just wanted you to see that I can do this, that I can make something meaningful." He nodded, his expression softening. "I'm starting to realize that I need to support you better. This event, it's not just another project to me, it's a chance for you to thrive." The flicker of warmth in her chest ignited into a flame. This wasn't the fierce confrontation she had imagined. This was a bridge being built, not burned. "I want you there, Dad. No matter what." A small smile broke his serious demeanor. "I wouldn't miss it. And," he continued, excitement creeping into his voice, "I could help out with setting things up. I might know a thing or two about organizing events. Really? Sam's surprise was palpable. This was more than she had dared to hope for. You'd really do that? Absolutely, he said, confidence growing in his tone. Let us get everything ready together. I can talk to some people who might help with promotions. Elena returned at that moment, sensing the shift in the air. What is happening? You two look like you just solved world peace. Sam's grin was instant. Just making plans for the art event. She turned to Tom, letting her smile widen. Dad's going to help. Elena's eyes sparkled with excitement. That's awesome. This is what we need. More hands make lighter work. She turned to Tom with a grateful nod. You're really stepping up. Sam felt lighter, brighter. The doubts that clung to her had begun to dissolve. They started brainstorming, ideas bouncing back and forth. The laughter that spilled from them filled the once tense space, creating an atmosphere buzzing with energy and camaraderie. Sam could envision the event a colorful showcase of talent, stories, and community. Maybe her dream was finally within reach, but amidst the thrill and the laughter, a nagging thought crept in: was this newfound support too good to be true? There had been so many disappointments before. Could they sustain this momentum? Would the day of the event hold up to her hopes, or would it all come crashing down? Just then, her phone buzzed again, a notification from the group chat. Can't wait for the event. Let us make it epic. It read. But Sam felt her heart flutter with unease. The excitement was palpable, but what if it all fell apart at the last moment? Sam. Tom's voice pulled her back to the moment. You okay? With a shaky smile, she nodded. Just thinking. Hey, worry less. You've got this. We've got this, he emphasized, determination glinting in his eyes. As the three of them planned and joked, Sam felt a thrill of possibility. It was there, just out of reach, shimmering like a mirage. She could almost grasp it but still felt unease lingering in the shadows. What would happen when the day finally arrived? Would her fears come rushing back, or could she emerge stronger than before? An urgent thrill ran through her. She had to find out. The day of the event arrived with the kind of vibrancy that echoed Sam's aspirations. The sun hung high in a bright blue sky, wrapping Maplewood in warmth and promise. Crowds began to gather outside the community center, their chatter buzzing like an electric current, mixed with a palpable sense of excitement. Sam stood just inside the building, her heart racing. She felt the pulse of her dreams echoing all around her. The walls were dressed in colorful canvases, each telling a story of expression, hope, and courage. It was a tapestry of emotions, reflecting the journey she had taken along with Elena and their shared vision. Are you ready? Elena's voice was a gentle nudge, filled with warmth and support. I think so, Sam replied, her nerves still churning, but a spark ignited in her chest. But what if no one likes my work? Elena grasped her shoulders, her grip steady and reassuring. This isn't just about them loving your art, Sam. It's about showing them your heart. You've already won by stepping out and sharing it. Just then, Tom appeared from the entrance, carrying a load of snacks, his face lit with pride. Look who's here. He called, instantly capturing Sam's attention. Seeing him there, taking part, filled her with an unexpected wave of joy. Dad! She exclaimed, rushing to him. Thanks for coming early. He beamed back at her, the burden in his expression lifted, replaced with genuine enthusiasm. Wouldn't he miss it for the world? I spoke with a few people who said they'd come, too. I think they're curious to see what you've created. Sam's heart fluttered. Could this be real? Her father there to support her, their bond healing with each passing moment. It was a symbol of hope she didn't dare take for granted. As the doors swung open wide, townsfolk poured in, curiosity painting their faces. Sam felt a wave of anxiety wash over her again. What if they didn't understand her art, her passion? But just as those shadows began creeping back in, she caught sight of Elena, her infectious smile cutting through the noise, urging her to breathe. "Let us do this," she whispered to herself, gathering strength. Minutes ticked delicately by, and soon, a mix of laughter and chatter filled the space like music. Faces she recognized and new ones filled every corner. They gathered around the artwork, children leaned in to examine the vibrant colors, while adults stopped to take in the emotion splattered across the canvas. "Wow, this one speaks to me," a woman exclaimed, nodding appreciatively. "Can you believe the talent in this town? I never knew we had such talent around." Another said, eliciting smiles all around. It warmed Sam's heart to see their reactions, the conversations buzzing like life itself. Each word lifted her spirits higher. Then came a moment she anticipated but feared. A figure appeared at the threshold. Sam's heart sank for a brief second. It was her mother, Mary, standing there, her expression unreadable. The tension rippled through Sam's body, like an electric jolt. "Mom!" she called, her voice catching. Mary slowly approached, her eyes scanning the vibrant art displayed around the room. I wanted to see what this was all about," Mary said slowly, her voice softer than usual. Sam's breath hitched. You mean that?" Mary nodded, her gaze lingering on the artwork. For a heartbeat, time stood still. And then, Sam felt hope, tender yet fierce. "Can you see the message here?" Sam said earnestly, wanting desperately to bridge the distance. "It's about connection, art as a pathway to bring us together." Mary looked up, and for the first time, her expression softened in understanding. I see it now. It's beautiful, Sam. Truly beautiful." A smile began to take root on Sam's face, a blend of disbelief and joy swelling in her heart. They could reclaim their relationship. Elena cleared her throat, stepping beside Sam. "She's done an incredible job. Art has a way of uniting us, and it seems the response from everyone, including the vendors and local artists, has been profound." The air buzzed with camaraderie and belonging. People were connecting, sharing their stories, fueled by the spark of creativity that Sam had ignited. With hesitation swept away, Mary took a deep breath. "I want to help, too. I may not understand art like you do, but I want to support you however I can." Sam felt a rush of emotions, tears of joy brimmed in her eyes, but she held them back, wanting to stay present. "You really want to join in?" she asked, her voice soft and hopeful. "Absolutely. Let us see how we can continue this momentum. You're starting something special here, and I want to be part of it," Mary replied, her words like a balm on the wounds they had shared for years. Everything felt brighter and warmer all at once. Sam caught a glimpse of Elena, who grinned wide, reflecting the joyous energy building around them. "Let us keep moving this forward. Together," Elena exclaimed. As the crowd began to gather for some artist talks, Sam felt like she was gliding on air. The event had blossomed beyond her wildest dreams. Surrounded by laughter, art, and support from the people she loved, she felt her fears fading away, replaced with unwavering belief in her journey. Maybe chasing dreams wasn't just about art, it was about connection, about healing, about stepping out boldly into the world, hand in hand with those who believed in you. With her heart full, Sam stepped beside her mother, ready to pen a new chapter in their story together, filled with art, understanding, and a bond reshaped with every brushstroke. This was not just an event, it was the beginning of something great. Something that illuminated her path toward purpose, passion, and community. Her spirit soared, knowing she was finally seen and, more importantly, that she was ready to be a beacon of hope for others too. As the cheers erupted and smiles spread across the room, Sam stood tall, her heart still racing, but now with the certainty of belonging. This was her moment. And she was going to shine. That if you're truly inspired by Sam and Elena's journey of transformation, you need to subscribe now to our channel for more exclusive stories that will capture your heart. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and ensure more inspiring content reaches those who need it most. Comment below with your thoughts and feelings about this emotional ending. We want to hear from you, and don't wait not even one more second to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see how dreams can come true. Your support is what helps us build this amazing community.